Chamonix, France, at the end of August.
I think the UTMB week, which is the Olympics of trail running.
UTMB has always represented something in the realm of trail running.
圣洁的一个比赛，然后世界各地的越野跑运动员。
I think no one's unbeatable.
Donc je sais d'avance que vendredi, quand je serai sous l'arche, il y a quelque chose qui va se passer.
There's lots of stress, there's lots of pressure.
Tons of people, horns or bells. Everything is like really magnified.
Que votre rêve devienne réalité.
On est en 2025 et je suis sur la ligne de départ.
It's hard enough, but to do it with a disability is absolutely incredible.
On parle de sport et plus de handicap.
C'est une grande course qui est incomparable à toutes les autres courses.
Winning this race will be my goal this year.
Bonjour, je suis Isabelle Visepoletti, directrice du Hoka UTMB Mont Blanc. Sur cette semaine d'événements Hoka UTMB Mont Blanc, nous avons donc une semaine complète d'événements avec 8 courses, dont les 3 finales du circuit UTMB World Series, que sont l'OCC pour le 50K, la CCC pour le 100K et l'UTMB pour le 100 miles. C'est environ 10 000 coureurs répartis sur les 8 courses et ces personnes venant en famille, puisqu'on est sur des publics qui ne viennent pas juste pour courir, ils viennent vraiment pour découvrir le territoire, vivre une aventure au-delà de la course, et on a en moyenne 20 000, peut-être 25 000 personnes qui viennent passer la semaine sur les vallées autour du Mont Blanc. L'OCC, du coup, est une course qui a été créée en 2014 à la demande de la commune d'Orsières. Nos voisins suisses souhaitaient eux aussi leur départ. Et puis, il nous manquait ce format journée, un marathon un peu plus long. Et donc, nous avons fait le choix de créer cette distance à la fois pour honorer nos voisins suisses et pour proposer ce nouveau format dans l'événement.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Claire Verzeau, j'ai 38 ans, je suis maman de 3 filles et je me suis mise au trail, je dirais, il y a 4 ans. Mon rêve ultime, c'est d'aller en montagne et de m'offrir cette opportunité d'avoir 2 bâtons et d'avoir cette propulsion que j'ai pas forcément toujours des 2 côtés avec mon agénésie. Et la vie a fait que j'ai croisé la route de Boris Gérardi, qui a été amputé de la jambe et qui a pu avoir une lame développée. Et il cherchait quelqu'un pour intégrer la team adaptive qui avait une différence au bras. Donc naturellement, en quelques mois, il m'a proposé d'intégrer son équipe pour courir la MCC en 2024.
Boris Gérardi, 53 ans, et je suis manager de la team adaptive à l'Hoka UTMB Mont Blanc. Alors, comment c'est né? C'est né tout simplement, le groupe UTMB me contacte pour développer la politique inclusion auquel je collabore. Et c'est là où je propose de créer une équipe composée d'athlètes en situation de handicap, avec différents handicaps, différentes nationalités, des hommes, des femmes.
Boris is kind of the reference in like adaptive sport, and I do the link with the UTMB group. So we work together on the different profiles, on who wanted to join, which reasons, etc.
Notre postulat de base, ça a été de dire on veut que le trail running soit un sport le plus inclusif possible et qui représente les sociétés, enfin nos sociétés.
One day we just hope that everyone that sees this just says even if they have a disability, they're not scared of coming. They're not worried, and they can just come and find it as a safe place for them to run.
Dans cette mission, dans cet objectif que l'on a de rendre le handicap non exclusif et non exceptionnel.
Et on se sent inclus dans cette course au même titre que tous les autres sportifs.
L'athlète court dans les mêmes conditions que l'athlète valide. Donc c'est les mêmes horaires de départ, les mêmes barrières horaires, les mêmes ravitaillements et le même accomplissement au final.
On parle de sport et plus de handicap.
C'est vraiment le mot à retenir, c'est inclusion.
Ça va provoquer, j'espère, une émotion positive ou en tout cas une inspiration positive.
Et ça, c'est une chance unique que la team adaptive et l'organisation UTMB nous offrent depuis l'été dernier.
J'ai pas trop de mots pour expliquer cette peur. C'est tellement de délivrance d'être au départ que c'est toujours une émotion particulière.
Vraiment super rapide avec le retour de l'État libanais avec Christophe Darvenet. Alors, un bon message rapide.
With a course change due to weather conditions, OCC runners will face 61 kilometers and 3,400 meters of elevation gain to reach Chamonix.
Ready? My name is Rosanna Buchauer. I'm a German ultra runner, and I think I'm a mountain child, so I'm not really a runner, but then I got into mountain running and I really love it, and now I'm super happy to be in Chamonix. Sports and mountains in general were always a huge part of my life. My grandpa was a mountain guide, and my parents, they always took me and my brothers to the mountains, or we stayed in a hut, or we went hiking or climbing. So I think that was the base for my love for the mountains, that now I want to spend as many hours as possible outside. This year it's a little bit different. Usually I run a little bit longer, but I also want to run the World Championships in September. So I thought I want to do both, so 50 kilometers seemed perfect. I think especially the female field on OCC is super strong, very fast runners, very fast downhill runners. So I think the top 10, top 20 will all be within minutes. So I think it's going to be a fight from start to finish. My strategy is to not start too fast, but then also to follow the fast women and try to hang on to them as long as I can and to still run the last uphill.
Première expérience grâce à mon guide avec un bâton. Et ça soulage!
Allez Boris! Allez! Faut pas que j'arrive trop tard! Super, tu fais une belle course, bravo Franck!
So to see people with disabilities completing the race, it's absolutely mind-blowing.
It's already hard enough to do as an able-bodied person, and there are people who are so ambitious and so hungry to do such a great task is amazing, and I'm in awe.
Ça se bien? Tu sens bien? Ouais. Et voilà, une gourde bien pleine.
J'ai pas vu.
It was a really good race, and I was really fast on the downhills. It was fun. I was feeling like flying downhill, and the last 10 were a big fight, but I finished strong.
is absolutely inspirational, and I'll be excited to follow along with the adaptive team, with the front to the back of the field.
Finalement, le handicap, au départ, c'est pas ça qui leur fait peur, c'est la boucle, c'est l'épreuve, c'est l'aventure. Ça, c'est quelque chose de commun avec tout le monde, et que ce soit le meilleur athlète sur la ligne de départ et l'athlète qui terminera en dernier, et l'athlète du team adaptative. Et c'est ça qui est magique dans le trail, c'est que du coup, on court tous après la même chose.
Bravo, bravo, félicitations.
Comme la veste l'indique, j'ai terminé l'OCC, là ça y est. Je suis quand même très heureuse d'être arrivée. Vraiment, arriver là sous l'arche, c'était magique et vraiment une récompense énorme après un effort comme celui-ci.
The highlight race of the week, the UTMB, brings together the biggest stars of the sport alongside trail runner enthusiasts.
I think UTMB has always represented something in the realm of trail running. For Americans, it represents the mountains in Europe, and I think we can all agree that it remains like the crown of them all, at least in terms of mountain ultras.
I think UTMB is obviously a lot. I feel like the field's really deep. You can always guarantee that there'll be the top elites that will make this their priority for the year. And so, yeah, I think it's just our biggest stage to try and perform on.
UTMB it's a whole nother ball game. It's really far. I think even as a 100-mile race, it's really far. The finish line of Western States would put you, I think, around Champex-Lac in terms of time, and then we have another 5-6 hours left, I think. So it's absolutely like an incredible challenge.
然后对于中国运动员来说的话，这个 UTMB， 甚至是中国运动员，全世界的运动员来说 ，UTMB 像一个每年举办的像一个奥运会一样，一个非常圣洁的一个比赛，然后世界各地的越野跑运动员。
Hi, I'm Ben Dieman. I'm a professional trail runner for ASICS, 33 years old, originally from America, living in France. My best result would have to be Lavaredo 2025 this year, where I won the race and broke the record in under 12 hours.
My name is Jonathan Albon. I'm a professional trail runner, 36 years old. I race for the North Face.
Hi, my name is Emily Holgood. I am from Zimbabwe. I'm 31 years old.
Hi, my name is Tom Evans. I'm a 33-year-old trail runner based in the UK.
I race for Adidas Terrex, and my best result this year was the Canyons 100K, where I managed to win.
I am running for Team ASICS, and this year I became a father to my beautiful daughter Phoebe.
Hello， 大家好，我叫斯兰多吉，来自中国，我来自中国猴卡团队，然后我今年是33岁，然后我这次参加的是 UTMB。
So my name is Ruth Croft. I'm 36 years old. I run for Adidas Terrex, and I'm from the west coast of the South Island in New Zealand.
Je m'appelle Théo Détienne, j'ai 26 ans, je suis trailer pour le team New Balance Running. Ma dernière grosse course de préparation et dernière grosse course de l'année, c'est le 90 km du Mont Blanc que j'ai gagné donc ici à Chamonix. Maintenant, ça va être l'objectif de saison ici pour l'UTMB.
I am motivated. Obviously, I come here I do want to do the best, and to win would be amazing. But I think the main driver was last year was my first year here, and then experiencing it for the first time, I think you get a better understanding of the race, and so you kind of think of areas or places where you could improve on. So that is my main motivator, is to come back and see if I can do it better than last year.
I think within the UTMB week, which is the Olympics of trail running, I've already won OCC, which is the shortest distance, CCC, which is the middle distance, and I'm yet to attempt UTMB. So I'm really excited to see how I can go in UTMB.
I've imagined myself winning this race before, and that will be my goal this year.
Être sous une arche de départ d'un UTMB, c'est incomparable à toutes les autres courses. Donc j'ai hâte de le vivre, de mettre les émotions et le vécu sur ces mots-là. Donc je sais d'avance que vendredi, quand je serai sous l'arche, il y a quelque chose qui va se passer.
She's the first one to win the UTMB, the Western States and the Hard Rock in the same year in 2023. She's won every single UTMB she's done. Please welcome from the US of A, Courtney Dauwalter.
For sure, Courtney, she's the GOAT. Like, she's had an amazing, but I think no one, no matter who you are, is unbeatable. And anything can happen on race day.
Et notre Maxi Légende, il remporte l'UTMB en 2012, 2014, 2017 et 2021. C'est son grand retour, représentant la France, Monsieur François Denne.
Et je m'étais dit en rigolant, bon voilà, j'ai fait 17, j'ai fait 21, pourquoi pas revenir en 2025. Et puis finalement la blague a pris et puis on est en 2025 et je suis sur la ligne de départ.
174 kilometers, 9,900 meters of elevation gain, and epic weather conditions await. The 22nd edition of the UTMB is about to make history.
The more patient you are at the beginning, the better the race will be. If you go out and you try and go too fast, too early, things will get really tough and you'll probably not finish back in Chamonix. Take the first half easier than you think you're going, easier than you think you need to go, and then open up in the second half. But yeah, be patient and that will pay its rewards later in the race.
On partira donc par la vallée de Chamonix en direction des Ouches pour ensuite aller passer le col de Vose et redescendre de l'autre côté, toujours en Haute-Savoie, sur Saint-Gervais, puis les Contamines. Et aux Contamines, on quittera les paysages un peu plus urbains pour partir dans la montagne, passer le col du Bonhomme, redescendre sur les Chapieux, rejoindre le col de la Seigne, la redescente du Val-Vény avec un petit point haut avec la remontée à l'arête Montfavre, avant de redescendre à Courmayeur. Et donc ensuite, deuxième moitié, on repart, on monte au refuge Bertonne, direction le Val Ferret italien d'abord, jusqu'à Arnouva, puis la montée mythique du Grand Col Ferret. Grand Col Ferret, passage en Suisse, redescente vers les villages de La Foulie, puis ensuite Champais et la Giette, puis ensuite traverser sur le village de Trien pour repasser la frontière Suisse-France, ce coup-là, redescendre sur le village de Valorcine et ensuite finir le parcours en redescendant la vallée de Chamonix avec un petit passage à nouveau sur les hauteurs par la Flégère et descente finale sur Chamonix.
On the slopes of the Col de Vosa, the peloton stretches out as the favorites move up to the front.
Going up the first climb, I passed Courtney just at the top, but that was never kind of the plan to be leading the race. I had like a pacing plan going into UTMB, and so I was just sticking to my splits, and so I was on them at Les Ouches and then also Saint-Gervais. I was right on my target time.
On prépare le fromage, le saucisson, le pain et dans une bonne ambiance. C'est sympathique.
As night falls, the runners reach Le Contamine, the last aid station with crew support before heading into the high mountains. The night brings intense weather conditions: rain, wind, cold, and even snow. Courmayeur, located nearly at the halfway point of the race, is a crucial aid station where many runners adjust their strategies.
There is certain mandatory equipment you have to carry. I carried those and I carried extras because if your hands get cold, it's impossible to do anything.
The top 15 men are only within 30 minutes of each other.
I'm Josh Wade, ultra runner for the North Face. I live in Kendal in the Lake District. I'm 30 years old and I work part-time as a gardener. Just making sure that I'm not going to miss nutrition and I need to look after myself because it's such a long race.
High energy, tons of people, it's just like high fives or horns or bells, and then the counter of that where you're all by yourself doing this very simple motion in complete silence.
Camille Bruyat, 33 ans, Team Salomon. La stratégie c'était vraiment de partir tranquille. Nuit, il fallait vraiment jouer avec les éléments et bien s'habiller, bien faire attention à pas prendre froid quoi.
But going into their aid station, then obviously got the nutrition that I would need for the next 50k. Cami, when she passed me, she was moving way better than me, and I felt Courtney was moving better than me as well.
Ruth Croft leaves Courmayeur in third, 12 minutes behind Courtney Dauwalter.
People say it's always the darkest before the sun comes up. You learn a lot about yourself climbing Grand Coffret. The top of Grand Coffret is where the race really starts, and after that you roll the dice and you see what happens.
And it was there as well that Tom was able to take his lead.
When I realised that there was a gap to Ben climbing up Grand Coffret, it's like, oh, okay, well, this is happening, you can do this.
So Foray was a bit of suffering, because even on the other side, we had very thick fog. We could barely see the track, so it was quite tricky.
I seemed to be climbing quite well, so up Grand Coffret I could see some head torches and I felt pretty good, so I'm like, okay, we'll keep going at this pace. I feel really good when I'm descending Grand Coffret.
I am excited for the sun to...
With daylight returning after a tough night, the leaders are now approaching Champex-Lac, with Tom Evans leading the pack by nearly 15 minutes.
And then just before you start the climb with Champex-Lac, someone was like, third place is just there. I'm like, oh, right, okay. So I'm like running the uphill a bit, still felt really strong. I just wanted to keep pushing.
Where I get to see my crew at Champex-Lac, everyone feels bad, but you have to pretend that you feel good.
Seeing Phoebe at Champex-Lac is a real landmark moment.
I put music in at Champex-Lac. This helps a little bit, so like when a good song comes on, I'm a bit like, oh. Quite a lot of caffeine. Caffeine helps too.
Emotions do run quite highly for me. That's great when it helps you push, but then it's also really tough when things aren't going your way. It's not just a 100-mile race. I mean, it's 175 kilometers with 10,000 climb, going through the night where we're running with snow, sideways, rain. You use the emotions to drive you forwards, but then also you need to deal with them when they're on the other end of the spectrum.
On the women's side too, the night puts bodies to the test.
Talking with my partner Martin the day before, we were like, it's not just going to be a race about who's the fastest, it's going to be about who looks after themselves the best in the conditions. And when we headed into the night, it was like, it's about surviving.
Monter le Grand Col Ferret, il commence à faire jour, mais il fait quand même encore très froid, beaucoup de vent. Là, je suis bien, globalement, je fais une belle montée au Grand Col Ferret comme j'avais prévu.
Going up Grand Col Ferret, I was able to take some time from what Courtney and Cami were ahead of me. And then I got a bit more into race mode.
Tu gardes gros, tu gardes la tienne.
Moi j'aime bien aussi ce genre de course et ce genre de jeu, donc ouais là franchement c'était trop le fun à ce moment-là.
Allez, viens donc.
So coming into Champex, I just passed like Courtney and Cami in the climb. We used to climb up to Champex. I felt like I was moving pretty well at that point.
En fait, la course, nous, elle était vraiment intéressante là chez les filles, donc entre la Foulie et Champex, donc j'arrivais à Champex en fait avec Courtenay et les routes qui est 5 minutes avant. Bon, on sait qu'on n'est pas loin, on se connaît toutes en fait, et voilà, et en fait on est juste trop contente d'être là et de se dire ok bah en fait c'est cool aussi de pouvoir courir un peu des bouts ensemble et puis ça nous challenge.
Allez, bravo.
And then at Champex, it was kind of like, okay, we just got 50K to go. I was feeling good. Yeah, obviously the weather was definitely better, so I could switch into like a singlet. But it was quite shortly after Champex that it felt terrible. And then my kind of goals was like, okay, I just got to get to Trion, and then just break the race down like that, because thinking of getting to Chamonix from Champey just felt like nearly impossible.
Là, Champey, pour moi, c'est le début de la fin, mais la fin est encore longue, quoi. Donc ouais, en fait, je suis super contente de revoir plein de monde. Et il commence à faire bon, on commence à sortir de la nuit. Donc là, je me dis, bon, allez, là, ça peut être que mieux, entre guillemets, en tout cas en termes de conditions et d'atmosphère et d'ambiance.
It's okay? Good?
Knowing that that was then going to be in Vallecine, the whole idea was, right, now is time to really enjoy it and use the energy from the crowd.
Actually, like the people gave me energy, and when I was coming to Vallecine, I could see all the heads. I was like, actually, I could do with a bit of that energy. So like, yeah, I came in there, it was like, go! And then, yeah, it gave me a massive boost. So yeah, no, I thought the crowd were awesome. All along the route, the crowds are amazing at UTMB. Like you say there, you're on your own, and you're just in your own head, and you're just ticking away, like climbing and descending. And suddenly there's loads of people, and I'm like, go! And then like lift the energy up again. Yeah, it was really cool.
En fait, il y a quand même beaucoup de monde sur les sentiers là. J'ai été vraiment surprise. Les gens étaient vraiment très chaleureux au bord des sentiers. J'avais la chance de courir en France, c'est que moi, il y avait vraiment tous mes amis et toute ma famille. Donc là, ils s'étaient vraiment mis partout sur le parcours jusqu'au col des Montets. Et Valorcine, Alors Signe, bah oui, après on m'avait prévenu et tout qu'il allait y avoir beaucoup de monde et voilà, mais moi ça me fait plutôt chaud au cœur et ça booste vraiment.
Then after Trio, I met a few people on the trail and they were like, Courtney is not far ahead and she's struggling. And I was like, oh, I didn't think that would be an option, you know, to catch her actually. And I thought, well, I don't think there's enough time to catch her. But then going down to Vallorcine, like people were like, she's 10 minutes, she's 5 minutes away. And then I came into the aid station and she was right there.
How's it going? You good? Yeah. How are you?
Almost there. Hello, my name is Katharina Hartmut. I am from Germany and I'm 30 years old. I'm a trail runner for Team Hoka and my best race result has been second place at UTMB 2 years ago.
I think just everything, knowing that all of that hard work that I've been doing, not even just in the last year, but since my first time I came to Chamonix in 2017. These things don't happen overnight, they take a very long time and you need the experience, you need the training, you need the fitness and everything that comes with it.
Tom Evans wins the UTMB in 19 hours, 18 minutes, and 58 seconds.
Sometimes to stop enjoying what you're doing because there's lots of stress, there's lots of pressure, lots of demands. And having Phoebe, what that's done to me is it's just really relaxed. And I know that when I go home, my daughter, my wife will be there and it's just really special. And every day just gets better and better. So yes, I want to be a really good athlete, but more importantly, I want to be a really good father. And for me, being the best version of myself, being a father, makes me an even better athlete, which I think is really exciting.
Ben Demon came in second, 30 minutes after the winner.
Finally, that's a day I'm never gonna forget. To me, you either win the UTMB, you complete the UTMB, or you don't complete it. There's really only three things, like you win, you finish, or you don't finish.
Third since Champex-Lac, Josh Wade completes the podium.
Well, it's like never over. Like you could easily do an ankle or anything. So I never think that it's in the bag until like you kind of hit the road into Chamonix.
Well, I passed Courtney and then I thought, I don't know if she comes back and if she wants to catch me again, so I better run fast away from her. It was really hard. I forced myself to run all the way to Col de Montet.
But then coming into Chamonix, it's just wild, like all the support. Yeah, I don't think we have another race like it in our trail scene.
After winning the OCC and CCC, Ruth Croft becomes the first woman to claim the 3 UTMB World Series finals.
I've always dreamed of winning UTMB when I first came here in 2015 when I did CCC, but it's just taken 10 years to get to this point, and yeah, it was just special. Like I think I've said in other interviews, it's just like sharing it with friends and family and getting to see them at the finish line. It was just, yeah, really special.
La bascule à la Flégère, elle est quand même... c'est quand même cool, il y a quand même vraiment du monde qui te motive. Même si physiquement, de toute façon, t'es plus là, t'es vraiment à bout. Mais en fait, les gens font que tu te retrouves des ressources insoupçonnées. Et après, la bascule, je me suis dit, bon, là, il reste plus qu'une descente, profite. Et puis, je savais que c'était loin devant, loin derrière. Donc voilà, l'idée, c'est de ne pas prendre de risques, de terminer et puis de se faire plaisir.
Four years later, Camille Brouillat finished second again on the UTMB.
Beaucoup de fierté et puis vraiment j'étais très étonnée du nombre de gens en fait qui me soutenaient, qui connaissaient mon prénom, ouais, franchement je n'avais aucune espèce d'idée de cette ferveur là en fait. Donc c'était assez exceptionnel, ça m'a... Ouais, je me disais, ouais, les gens sont complètement fous là. et ouais, c'est génial quand tu peux profiter en plus comme ça. J'avais personne derrière là, qui allait fallait pas que je sprinte, donc ouais, non, vraiment chouette.
Katharina Hartmut rounds out the women's podium. The Queen, Courtney Dauwalter, finishes 10th.
Really tough day out there and night, but I was absolutely boosted by all the cheers on course. Team sport, doing hard things together makes the best type of memories.
Here are the men's top 5, and here are the women's top 5.